into the future, get ready to ignite. Customly's the engine, taking you to new heights. Personalization power, the best you've ever seen. We're rocking the e-commerce scene, living the dream. No limits, no borders, creativity unleashed. From names to crosswords, your products find their niche. Customily's the best, we're leading the race. No app can match us, we're setting the pace. Features so many, we're ahead of the game. With support that's legendary, remember the name. Previews, we've got your back. Dynamic designs, there's nothing we lack. From tees to mugs, from frames to tees, Customily's the partner your store really needs. Innovation's our motto, your growth is our goal. With tools so advanced, we're in total control. Customily's the best, we're leading the race. No app can match us, we're setting the pace. Features so many, we're ahead of the game. With support that's legendary, remember the name. So if you're chasing sales and aiming for the sky, join the Customily family, it's time to amplify. We'll take you higher, set your brand apart. With endless options, we're the e-commerce heart. Customily's the best, we're leading the race. No app can match us, we're setting the pace. Features so many, we're ahead of the game. With support that's legendary, remember the name. Customily, the top of the charts. Transforming every product, winning customers' hearts. With rock vibes and passion, we'll always be true. Customily's the app made just for you.
Hello everyone. Now, sorry, we had some audio adjustments we had to make. Let me know if you hear me now. Okay, we're going to try again. Can you hear me now? We may have to adjust this. Oh, all right. All right, great. So audio apparently is working on your side here, and maybe our team side that we need to adjust a couple of things. All right, but that's great. So we actually were worried that you didn't listen to the music, but actually I think you did. So welcome to this new live session of Customily. We're going to bring some color and some joy to this today's topic, as we're going to cover some bright ideas for the kids' niche, because we have a new feature, a new color tool that is going to be applied to texts. So now you're going to be able to add multiple color texts, and we're going to see exactly how that works in a second. So to get started, let me introduce you to the team today. I'm going to be your host, and together as co-host with me joining stage will be Geoffrey. And on the chat and organizing everything on the back end, we have Josefina and Cecilia. So they're going to be answering over the chat and also sharing important links along the way. So today's agenda is to talk about our new feature, alternating colors for texts. This is a great new feature that we are slowly even improving as we go, and we're going to give you a first heads up of how things are looking and how many things can you create with this new tool. We're going to give you some ideas for this evergreen niche, which is kids and newborns as well. Also, some product ideas, some POD product ideas for this particular niche. And we're going to do a product. Of course, we do this always, and it's going to be a play rug for kids. So we're going to see this tool in action today. As always, there's a room for Q&A, so prepare your questions for the end. Right, to get started, and joining me on stage is Joffrey. We are going to introduce you to our new feature, alternating colors. So as you can see in the example, we now allow for texts to have multiple colors, one by letter. So this is really cool because it actually gives you, well, a lot of freedom and creativity horizons for you to play around with this. Basically, you can add a text element to your design. Then when you go to the color selector and you establish, you can have a solid color as always. You can have the gradient as we showed you before in previous live sessions. And now you have alternating colors. So by picking alternating colors, you can actually select how many colors you do and you want to offer, and they will alternate letter by letter. So that is really amazing because now you're going to start thinking not only what kind of designs you will use and how you're going to mix this into your design process, but also fonts become incredibly important. And that's why we picked that particular example. You see, if you have a font that is as playful as the one we have with the small boxes, the small bricks, you can actually get really amazing results by alternating colors. And we picked this particular niche to present this feature, well, basically because it's all about colors when it comes to kids.
Hello, everyone. Yes, and if we
Well,
start taking a look, hi, everyone. So if we start taking a look at product ideas, let's start by looking at how or ways to boost your sales by offering alternatives for different audiences. For example, a design that is imprinted on a mug can also be recycled and used on a baby onesie or backpacks, for example, or t-shirts or even a journal. So you can take the same design and convert it or combine it with different font features and different font colors and font combinations and use exactly the same design to increase your product variety, but also helps you boost and get more value of the time you invest in your design creation. So this way you can expand your design usage across multiple categories and reach a wider audience. And later on, we're going to talk a little about bundling up these kinds of products, but don't refrain from using your products and your design creation to pair them up with multiple designs. For example, as we can see on the journal, we have a basic design, but it's paired up with clip arts from some kitten ears, for example, and on the mug we have it with a rainbow. So you can definitely make good use of the color combination, of the color matching to match the objects that you use to pair it up with, such as clip arts, for example, or in the case of the Superman themed in the mouse pad, for example.
yes, correct. And a great thing about these alternating colors is that you can establish a color palette. So, for example, in the Batman example, you can restrain certain colors that are aligned to that particular character. Same goes with the superhero or Captain America kind of color palette. So it's very identifiable something when you have a specific set of colors. The same goes with the backpack example. Yeah. And well, needless to say, the example of the t-shirts is very common and very attractive on kids these days. So having a very identifiable group of colors is now something that you can take advantage of when combining these alternating colors. So how will you use this in your advantage? Well, definitely you want to sell on key occasions. Yeah. You want to look for a high demand moments like baby showers, birthdays, first holidays, or back to school as we had earlier a month ago. So those kind of events definitely spike up the chart when it comes to selling for this particular kids niche. Now, definitely you need to launch designs with certain time, so you actually, this starts like 4 or 6 weeks earlier than the actual peak moment, so you want to get started earlier, and also it will give you enough time to test how certain products are playing around on your ads. So certain designs that may be more or less attractive and popular along the way. So give yourself some time to test out and to launch in advance these particular designs according to the dates you're focusing on. And of course, every season makes it's a great opportunity to refresh your store. So pay attention to the looks, pay attention to the catalog, to the featured categories that you want to present every single time on your store. Of course, when we're talking about kids and newborns, we want to make this personal and emotional. So make sure that these designs will have names, will have a specific dates, a specific data, like when it comes to newborns, the weight, the height, even the hour in which the newborn was born. I mean, there's a lot of first kind of subcategory of products and designs that are really important. So it's really nice to commemorate your first something. So having a design that goes with that definitely pays off.
Absolutely. And when promoting these products, it's very important that you think of who actually buys these products. It's often not the kids or even the parents themselves. It's not often not the person that receives the product, but rather the gift buyer, the gift giver. So when you are making your designs and you're building your bundles and your products, try to target the person that is going to give the gift away, to use the promotion as something meaningful and use emotional language to target the gift giver, so that the description that you use is actually appealing and targeting their emotional sense. And that's how you're going to get a good hook for the gift buyer. And for that matter, you can start by creating single designed products, or you can also create bundles for bigger sales. You can bundle up complementary items, for example, as a pencil case or pencil holder with a backpack, or if we're talking about newborns, you have onesies with also toys, for example, or little backpacks for carrying the baby stuff. So make sure you offer bundle discounts for higher perceived value and target out your audience by giving them more order value in what they are purchasing. When you mix these high margins, you are going to become a trendsetter in terms of offering products, bundles, and when you target them accurately or targeting their emotions, you're increasing the chances that the person is actually going to engage with what you are building out for them.
Yes, definitely. And on that particular matter, as we appeal to these buyers, personalization creativity pays off really important, because you're targeting that person, but at the same time, the person will try to also identify the topic. Like, for example, a grandparent may going back to the examples at the beginning, a grandparent may gift out a grandchildren something about Captain America. So if they identify the colors, they will definitely go there in the first place. So making sure things are clear and visible, especially depending on your target audience for your target niche, is very important. And so alternating colors will be really really important when putting together this. And not only when it comes to having that in the live preview. So actually, when it comes to alternating colors, if you start with a blank text, you may not get the whole idea. So remember that in Customily, you can set initial values. So if you open the product and you get the first glimpse of the design, you may have something like your name here, but at least your name here will be alternating colors. So you get the idea right away. Use the initial value tool a lot when it comes to alternating colors, because you definitely want to show in the first place what is it that what kind of color pattern you're offering to get started with. And combining this with other tools like photo upload will really pay off in creative designs. Now, one thing that we are really looking into, and we actually saw this when developing this feature, is the fact that we are kind of helping out this new parenting concept of staying out of the pink and blue styles. You know, it's been a long time, and we try to separate sometimes colors depending on gender and kids affinities, and we try now. It's nice to try and break that. So it's actually a good idea to have a great deal of colors available and to break that those pink and blue styles, offer something modern styles beyond those colors. That will be really well. And in that matter, optimizing the search keywords will be really important. Okay, but actually having that many colors was something that we saw was very positive on this particular matter.
And because one of the greatest evergreens niches is newborns and kids, we come up with these product ideas for newborns. And why? Because every year and all the year there are newborns, and every year there are birthdays, and every year kids go back to school. So a great strategy here is bundling products and building products that can be perhaps combined or purchased individually. These are product ideas that you can bundle up or create isolatedly, like the onesies, for example, with the fleece blankets or the swaddle blankets and the baby bibs. These are products that are not complementary, not only complementary with one another, but purchasable isolatedly. The idea is that you can explore all of these product qualities, all of these product options with the products, with the PODs that we have listed out here, or all of the others that are available in our application. Try to mix and match so you can reach high levels of purchase order value. When you do this, you're giving more value to your clients and increasing the chances that they purchase. And as Jose was mentioning, distant a little from the classic pink and blue, and try to incorporate and mix and match patterns and other colors and neutral colors as well that can be combined. Because I've been hearing more and more lately that parents are distancing from knowing the gender of a kid. So if you come up with very generic designs that are nice to the eye, you can definitely use and recycle across different designs and create very nice designs that can be combined in bundles as well.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, you can always combine multiple print-on-demand providers. So you may actually see that this particular product from this particular provider works on that particular niche, maybe the beanies, and then you may want to bundle with another blanket that you better have that from another POD. So you can do that with Customily. You can definitely sell off and fulfill with multiple providers on the same store. And when newborns grow up and they become kids, we definitely want to check out also some products and some ideas for kids, right? And actually now you have a wider range of ages, so actually products can get really interesting, as well as designs. So for example, backpacks is something that you will definitely be able to customize easy. I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years, most likely, across kinder to high to from school to preschool. I mean, definitely it's going to be a lot of backpacks along the way. So that is a constant renovation on design and on size, on number of pockets, who knows. So product ideas for kids definitely include backpacks, of course. rubber shoes. Actually, now you can customize this. You can even add pins. It's something that is really cool. So there are many ways to. That's something, for example, that you can bundle, like customize the rubber shoes and also customize the pins that go inside the holes of these rubber shoes. So it's a lot of things you can get creative on combining and bundling. Always t-shirts and water bottles are, well, stuff that it's an everyday use. And depending on the age, of course, being able to customize plush toys is well, actually becomes really nice now. And of course, with the new color feature, we can definitely add a lot of color, or even depending on the color of the plushie, we can actually have our combination of colors on the t-shirt. Well, in this case of the teddy bear. But you see how colors and color combinations definitely will help out on getting a better notion of the product itself. And so by going that, we actually decided to start moving on forward for Halloween by picking a kid product that is something that you can definitely consider an evergreen product, which is a play rug. Yeah, but we decided to use a color palette and a color combination that it resembles and reminds us of Halloween. See, like the black, brown, orange, and yellow, for example, are this color palette that you can associate with this particular season, as summer has its own colors and winter has its own color, and Christmas will have its own colors. So always these combinations that are quickly recognizable is something that now you can explore way better with our new feature. And we are definitely going to get into the tutorial. Okay, you can let me know, Geoffrey, we have some questions on the way.
Just checking out. No, right, no questions yet, but you guys can start throwing up your questions if you have any so far, or take a look at the tutorial that's coming right up and prepare your questions and get your engines ready, because Jose is gonna start the magic with the play rug.
All right, let's see. We are going to get the presentation, enter screen. All right. Okay, so we're going to create this personalized, colorful play rug. Yeah, and we're going to get started right from the beginning, but the end result will be something interesting like this. So we are going to have, we just made a simple design, and we can actually get deep into how to enhance this. I wanted to have this free kids little monsters play rug. Yeah, and you can of course offer your own designs. We had this nice group of icons that we can swap, and we have a structure of free kids. You can have it selectable, like 1, 2, or 3 kids. So that's always something we can play with using Customily. Right now we have this fixed, but just like that we have yeah, we can play around with phrases, yeah, and just joke around with our characters really nicely. And of course, put the names and get this going. As you can see, the color, the alternating colors in this case has 3 colors. We have black, golden, or green, or yellow, and orange, and then it starts over. So if I were to type something longer, let's say if I go right now, so I have, that's my pattern. And now you see how the pattern gets repeating. So if I were to add more colors to my pattern, basically, instead of repeating at the S, it will keep going, and it will repeat on the T, E, R, depending on how many colors you're going to add. Sometimes you add so many colors that it's pretty much no way you're going to be able to finish that spectrum. It's like you're going to create a rainbow of colors. That's something you can do. So if you're expecting long texts, or even your text will be like an initial value, yeah, and you know you're going to take like 12, 15 characters, you can set up 15 colors. So you have a full rainbow title at the very beginning. So always keep that in mind, that now that you have an unlimited number of colors to play with, one something that you will do is you will try to plan ahead how many characters you want to offer, how many, what kind of fonts you want to offer, right? So in this case, we created this particularly interesting font resembling like a knitting effect, yeah. But the images were all directly PNGs in the whole place, and we actually had another font for the names. So let's start creating this really fast. If we were to create this from very scratch, we may need to create a product, maybe work on an existing product. So using our template builder in the first place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure, first of all, in my products, that this, let's go with the colorful, yeah. I'm going to make sure that our kids play run kits will be with no customization at all, just like that. So this is a standard normal product that we can just find on any of our stores. And if I were to reset this, yeah, to refresh, now I can purchase this like any product, but actually it will say Little Monsters and it will not be able to be personalizable. So this is my unpersonalizable colorful play rug. Yeah, so this is on my store and I actually want to connect Customily to this product. So when we are about to get started, we are faced with these free choices. And for today, we are going to add personalization to an existing product. Let's say we have our own workshop. We're going to build our own, we're going to print our own rugs. So first of all, we definitely need to find the product. So we start off by filtering by not linked to Customily. That's the easiest way to find whatever we are about to connect to. And this is the one, personalized colorful play rug for kids' room. So now I'm going to click here. And like any product using Customily, you will definitely need the product to be selected. And then you just need two other steps, creating a template and creating the option sets. The option set will create directly after you create a template. So pay attention to whatever options you integrate into the template in the first place. And this is going to be a very smooth process. Okay, and then at the end, everything will be connected and working. So let's start designing. Unless you already have your template, which is, again, something you can do, just go straight to the template process, create the template, and then go here and choose it with this button. But if you haven't started and your first step is to, okay, I have this product, I definitely need to get it to become customizable, we're going to start design. Okay, so let me just start this over. All right, first of all, we're going to put a name on this, and this is going to be our live session custom play run. Okay, now if you have a very specific, if you have specifics on the size of the product, how it prints, you definitely want to put it here. In this case, we may have I don't recall exactly the proportions. We may have a 400 by 200 maybe, and maybe if it's not the right proportion, we can adjust this anyway. And we definitely want to check out our product in the first place. So if you have an image of the product, we can start by uploading that image so it gives you a good reference of what you're working on. So I'm going to click on dynamic image, which is the object I'm going to use. Let's fit to the canvas. I'm going to use to upload my own images. So let's say I'm going to add my own image and I'm going to pick my rug mockup like that. Apparently, we don't have the exact same proportion, so we are going to adjust this just a bit. Let's see how would I, I'm probably going to reduce this. Yeah, maybe see by 350. That works. Oh, almost there, right? Of course, this is something that you will have already set if you are your own manufacturer, correct? In case you don't, as you can see, it's easy to adjust the printable settings of Customily right away. Okay, so let's say this is going to be the workable area that we want our design to be. Because we have our system of printing this without the need to actually have the rug we're going to use it later on in the preview stages. Right now, we actually want this to be as a reference, so we know the exact proportion and stuff. Then we're going to create a text box. The first text we're going to create, this is going to be text number 1. Probably we're going to put it here. Yeah, and we want to try something, right? So, okay, so we want to type something. Let's say we type something like a customer would do. Maybe we're going to say monsters, and we can actually play around with the character to make sure this is actually bigger. So maybe, yeah, really big, or maybe try another font. Let's say, well, we have a lot of fonts, or eventually we can just add other fonts. Let's say we're going to stay with this font to be something different of what we created so far. Now comes the really interesting part. We are going to set, let me just try to put this here. Okay. We're going to set the color. By default, this has black color. And if I click on this, which is the first option, you can alternate between a solid color, a gradient, or now you have the alternating colors. And now we can also, in the future, we'll be able to set multiple alternations. Right now we have one color per letter. And now you can see that if I apply this right as it is, I get this result. Now this result is me starting off with this green and then going into the black. Now, if I were to modify this, I click on the color, I go maybe to a yellow area, an orange area, and apply this. It's always nice to click apply so you can actually start to see the changes live there. And then the second color, that's one it's going to be probably something closer to the golden. Yeah, maybe white, something like that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and we're going to add another color. So we're going to just click on the plus here to add the other color, which is going to be the yellow, the orange here. Yeah, maybe like that. They're very similar, correct? So maybe we need to try this to be a bit darker. Just don't want this to be like too much on the background. What if we add another color? If we add another color to maybe try to break the same color palette, we can try a green close to red. Yeah. Okay. And now we're starting to get this. If you don't want this, just remove this, and you see how the system will always try to adjust to whatever pattern you are establishing. And the same goes if you test around. Yeah, so it's adapting constantly. So we're going to keep this. Okay, so we have one letter. I always recommend that you customize. If you will have more than 2 or more texts of the same with the same settings, but they will be different, just make sure you customize one text object. Make sure you work around the colors and the color palette and everything, and you test it out. And after you're finished, then you copy with Control-C and you paste. Otherwise, you will have to repeat all that if you create a brand new object, a brand new text box. If you just customize one, fully customized with all the fonts, with all the colors and everything, and then you copy paste, at least you save yourself time on this process. Yeah, so I'm going to, probably going to redesign this like that. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure. Yeah, so let's say this is going to be 280 in the width, and this one is going to also be the same. And both of them will have to be centered on the print. Yeah, so this one is going to be line 1. This one is going to be line 2. And now we can create our little monsters, actually. So let's look for our dynamic image, remember dynamic images are where you are going to be uploading your own images or eventually picking a library. In this case, because we only have 4 items for today, we're going to just upload them, but you can always create a library, which is what we recommend all the time. Creating a library will save you time, will allow you to quickly use that library across many products, and every single update you make on that library is going to reflect automatically on every product. So now I'm going to add an image, and actually I'm going to pick the 4 characters like that. Okay, now I have 4 choices. You can see them here. And this, of course, will have to be smaller, I guess. Let's see just how small we can go. Okay, yeah. And we do have some space for the names. Correct. So let's say we have this is going to be the kid 1. Yeah. And if we, let's say we actually are going to copy and paste again this because we want the same color pattern. Actually, what we are going to do in this case is, of course, we're going to change the font so we don't get bored of the same font. And let's see what we have. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Okay, but we're going to do something else. We're going to go in the alternating this, and we're going to flip this around. So what happens when we do this? Now we get another effect. Yeah, or actually we can have this, but maybe brighter. Yeah, so any of this can actually change to something a bit more brighter. So like this one will be brighter. Yeah, and this one will be even brighter. I don't think that's the right. Okay, maybe this will be just like that. Oh wow, that's not the best color option at all. So yeah, okay, let's keep it dark for now. Yeah, and because this is going to be the name of the kid, and remember this is a play rug, so we're never going to have a front, back, and direct view and an alternative view. So we can definitely, we are not seeing the text because when I set the minimum size, I made it so that it has these points. So if I go under that, because of the size of the box, I definitely won't see anything until I make it really small. So what if we come here and we, here. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, because I had that copy, and then I'm going to rotate this, or maybe I can just transform this into that. Okay, let's imagine that we have our first kid here, and this is going to be kid 1 name. Excellent. Now we can grab these two, and we can do Control copy to and Control B to paste. If I do Control B as in banana, I will be able to paste on top of the last one. So I can just, let me try to get this centered. Oh. Okay, and we're going to do Control V again. Yeah, and move this all the way here. I'm using the keyboard arrows to move this, just to get this in the right position. Okay, now, so we have this one is going to be kid number 1. Yeah, kid, and this is going to be kid number 2. This will be kid number 2 name. This will be kid number 3. Oh. Kid number 2, and kid number 3. And that will be it. In fact, just to like change things up a bit, I'm going to just rotate everything. So this is going to be like an upside down kind of rug. Yeah, and this also is going to have a yeah, like that. Probably this will have this Okay, so maybe this will be a fun thing. Imagine that there's like no right side of this particular rug. And that's it. That's our design. We have these alternating colors. We have these colors also in a different order, but it's the same color palette. We have these images alternating. So basically you can pick whatever you want, and that's it. For now, this is going to be printable. Yeah, so we don't want to get the background of the rug in the first place. We just want the printable information. And we go next because we are going to adjust this to a nice preview. So go next. The preview, now it will be something that will show the actual rug. So when we start off, we start with a background color. Everything comes from the printable stage on the template. Now we actually want to activate this. Yeah, we're going to select everything. Maybe we want this to like probably have just a bit more margin, but not more than that. We don't want this to show like that. Another thing we may want to do is try to do some texture here. You see, on the second step of any template, you only have a few tools. You can replace the background color or the background image, should be the case. You can reset everything in case you made a lot of changes to the first step. And also you can just add more images. Adding more images is useful when you want to apply certain realism. Like, for example, you want to have like a foreground effect, so certain things are slightly covering the preview, like a hand or a finger or whatever, right? So that could be an option. Or you can just use this object, which is a dynamic image, to upload a mask. In this case, we created this mask, and remember, everything will be available for you on our share folder with all the assets of the live sessions. We created this overlay, which is basically the same rug, just the texture. Yeah, it's like that. So you see, it's very simple image. That is the same image we had in the very beginning, but we only took away the texture. And when you put it on top of this, you get this effect. Of course, this is actually pretty small. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to match this image with the background image. So we're going to center this first. And then we're going to grab the background. Make sure in the transform section we have, yeah, so we're going to have the same, probably the same coordinates, but we can check, right? So it's not exactly the same coordinates. We're going to have this to be exactly like this. So this will be 502 pixels, and this will be this. So that is in the exact same center. Now the size of this object is this 1800 pixels by 929. So if I just copy this and I apply the same, yeah, you see it will quickly adjust and transform and expand until it matches. Apparently this is bigger, yeah, that's why it's nice to test, because we have a lot of background in the original. So the actual product is less. You see, the actual mask is less. Keep that in mind. But this could happen, depends on how you get your assets. But if you like work on this, you can get it working really fast. Okay, so we were able to get the texture to match perfectly. And now, because it has the same scale, when you zoom in, you actually see a certain texture on top of the design on every item. It will show better on light colors. Yeah, and this is actually a really cool effect just for the preview purposes. Okay, let's keep it as it is, and let's save this. When we are about to save, what we do is we do a final revision. The final revision means that I'm printing just the text and the images, and I'm previewing the background, I mean, the mockup of the product, and also I'm previewing this with a texture, so it gives certain realism to whatever is printed. So our text, our custom text, our alternating colors, our clip art will not show like stick on top. It will not show flat. It will have an effect. Let's save this. By default, the system will create the option set based on what you have added to the template in the first place. Always you can modify this by enhancing the experience of the options with initial values, like I told you, and certain images by default selected. Now we have everything working. The template has been connected. The option sets were created right away. We can save the product and ready to test. So we're going to click this to view this on the store. The same product that we had this without customization is now loading Customily right away. Okay, but what if I pick the ghost? Right? Well, this image, remember that the image we used in the first place for like the gallery in Shopify in my case, doesn't resemble exactly the same design. We play around with that. But when you start customizing, you get to see this. Yeah, you see get to kit 1, kit 2, kit 3. Couple of things that can happen depending on the way you create objects on the template. Certain options may be upside down, like for you have the kit image and then the name, but on the kit number 3 you have this upside down. You can change this. Now, one thing I don't see is the alternating color text. And this is the part I told you it will be really important to take advantage of our initial value tool in the options set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the product connection page. This is what we call this. And we're going to click this to open the option set. It opens on another tab. And I can see the options. If you don't get the options at the very beginning because they look like this, just go to the top right corner, click on preview, and that will show basically what the actual customer is looking right now. And like I told you, line 1 and line 2 are the main titles. Kit 1 in images, then the name. Kit 2, image name. And kit number 3 seems to be on top of the image selection. So I can click here, drag it up, and now everything goes in the right place. So let's add some initial values. We're going to go for the original idea. So it's going to be little for the line number 1. As you can see here, I look for the object on the pencil here on the preview. Right. So initial value, monsters. And then maybe one thing I can do is I can make sure that by default, every kit has its own monster. So I locate the kit number 1 selector. I search for any of these, like we have, this is the vampire, the mummy, this is the Franken girl, and this is going to be the ghost. So let's say the first kit will have the first ghost to be default selected. So it always shows the ghost at the beginning. And we're not going to put any particular name, so we're going to just say kit 1 name. Okay. Then we do the same with the other 2. We're going to give for the kit number 2. So in this case, we're going to pre-select the vampire. And on the kit number 2 name, we're going to put an initial value that is kit number 2 name. Finally, we locate this. Yeah. We select maybe this one. Yeah. And kit number 3 name will be this. With these adjustments that we just made on the option set, we have created a better version of the initial customization process and the perspective from the end user. So now if I come here and I reload the page, of course, it always begins with the default preview image, but we can actually change our settings so it loads the Customily preview right there. And if I were to like click on any other, if I start customizing, let's say now, okay, little monsters, right? So I'm going to say here and I'm going to type my name. Oh, now, so you see everything now. You see the text, you see the examples, you see the kids, you see everything. Kit number 2 name, kit number 3, okay? And it looks this way. And you can start modifying this. Yeah, and yeah, so let's oops. Yeah, anything that you want. And play around with this, of course, but everything you change will definitely quickly update. But always you start with at least an initial value. That can be your message here, your name here, your title here, whatever you want. But if we use this tool, we are showing the effect from the very beginning. And I recommend that to you because there's no point in having a alternating color effect if you don't show it at the very beginning. Even if you have a first picture of the product, when you start customizing and you start to selecting where are you going to be putting each piece of information, having that sample there will show you the color pattern, will show you the colors themselves. Even if you are changing t-shirt colors, you will be able to match that properly. So that will be a good suggestion to keep in mind to use this particular setting. Okay, well, that's the product. We expect you to do better than this, but hey, if you buy it, then I'm happy. And let's see if we have some questions.
Hey there, Jose. Yeah, so two questions came up right now. The first one from Steven, the alternate color feature only works on straight text?
Yes, correct. At the moment, we have that for straight text only. At the moment, we don't have curved or warped, but it's definitely something that we're going to be looking into to expand this new tool.
Absolutely. And then can customers add their own images?
Images as uploading them. Yeah, sure. One thing we didn't do this right now, but let's do it, let's say we go back to our template here. Yeah. So we definitely need to open the template. We need to, edit this. Now, to let customers upload a picture of their own, we just need a specific object among the many tools we have here. It's called the image placeholder, the one you see right there. When you click this and it creates a standard object, you see this says shopper's photo here. Okay, so let's say we're going to fit to canvas. This means that maybe I'm going to just try to push this all the way down, so actually it's not on top of any text already. Yeah, but you can actually upload anything and you can move it around and position whatever you want. But basically, this is the object you want to create, an image placeholder. It says shopper's photo here. Yeah, you may not see this right now, but see shopper's photo. It gives you the idea of how this works. And also, if you select the object and you see this button, instead of uploading pictures, you can try with an image, meaning that whatever you upload will not stick. It will be just for you to test how it looks, how it works. Okay, but that's the tool itself. It's called the image placeholder. Now let's see how that works on the front end. We added this to the print process. We are going to adjust this to the preview as well. So this new object, this one, yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, we're going to make sure this covers, probably it's going to cover the center of the rug and not the border. Yeah, so you can actually upload something there and move it around within that blue bounding box. And then, okay, we're going to click next and save it. Now, I have added this object to my template, but I don't have the option, right? I actually need a upload image button. So I can go to the option set here. I can open this, which is already open here. If you recall, this is the option set, yeah? And one thing I can do, let's try to close this, everything, yeah? There's an option at the very end of the option set here called add option. Not only add option as a single option that you create, but also if you click on the arrow, you can bring from other option sets or create from the template element. So if I were to click on the create from template element, it will open the template. Yeah, it will ask you for, this is the template, yeah, and give you all the possible options that you have on that template. So you may have all these options. You already have the kit number free options. You have the no 2, 1. But one thing you don't have is the last one you created, this one, image upload 11. So if I say create, what we'll do is it will read the object and bring up whatever option involves that object. If it's a text, it will have a text input. If it has font options, it will bring up font choices or color choices. And if it's an image upload, if you check the preview, you'll see that now it has created a button. Yeah, and I'm going to locate this and let's say, well, your own picture. Yeah, upload your own picture. Save. That's it. So let's see what happens on the product itself. Even though the preview, the picture on the product will always be the same because it's a common listing on Shopify or any e-commerce. If I refresh this, it will load the new version of the template. It will load the new option set version like this. And now I have this button here. And I'm going to upload a picture. Yeah. And I'm going to, yeah, you know what? Let's add our own small ghost here. Yeah. So the ghost shows in there. Yeah. Like that. As any picture that I upload inside Customily, I can move it around and I can even set this. So maybe your design will not involve these characters, only the names, and you will be able to upload your own pictures, you know, and create. You can even alternate by picking from the gallery or uploading your own. That's something you can do. So maybe that was the original question from Steven, and that's the concept. You use this object and you can resize this as long as you are within the blue box. That's fine. Yeah, and doing this live on the site, on the store. That's the beauty of this. And because I set this to be on the background, you see how it works like that. So I hope that shows you an alternative, which is instead of offering icons, you allow them to upload their own icons.
Thank you very much, Jose. That gives us the clear path on including image uploads with image placeholders. And then here, Celine is asking if with this upgrade or with this update, their products can be made repurchasable. So because right now that is an issue she has in her store. And I'm guessing she refers to people that want to repurchase their products that they have bought in the past.
What's the case scenario again?
Yeah, it says, in the future, I intend to put customizable t-shirts in my store, not just for kids. Do you think with this update, my product can be made repurchasable? Because it's the biggest problem in my store. I don't know if this has something to do with that, but I'll let you.
I mean, when you say repurchasable, definitely this product can be added to cart in one quantity. I mean, I can just add this to the cart and return to the product. Or, I mean, in this case, yeah, I have a drawer. So basically, I can just remove my ghost and have all this BDS and add to cart again. And this is another product. Yeah. The moment you change customization, you definitely add another item to the cart. So actually, I have, well, it didn't update yet. So let me, remember this is a station store, but I should have two products. Maybe I didn't change that. Okay, so we have Little Monsters, image number 4. Yeah. Okay, like that. So that's the one I added. And if you refresh or you visit this later, you can do pretty much the same. Let's say now we're going to be adding the ghost again. Like that, yeah, and add to cart. So I don't know what repurchasable means, but this is like not a one-time thing kind of process. Okay. Yeah, but that's probably my store. So,
yeah,
but
I believe, I believe, but that's my interpretation here, is that I'm sure first to when people purchase a product and then in 2 months they want to buy it again, if it can be done. Not sure, but either way, I would like to invite you to get in touch with our support team to address this more specifically, so they can give you more guidance in terms of this, so you can actually give more intel into what you're expecting to create as an experience for your clients, right?
Sure, definitely. And just in case, maybe you want to purchase something now, and later on you want to purchase this again, and you want to save the customization information, right? So you don't repeat this again. In that case, Customily has a setting in which you can enable this button. This button connects you to basically social networks, or even give you the link. So if eventually you want to like copy and send this or share this with yourself over over message to keep that link, basically later on, a month later, if you click on that link, of course if the product is still selling, click on that link, it will open the product and it will load the customization directly because it has been saved on the link. That's something that we offer as a feature here, the fact that you can actually, because it's very common that people actually customize this but then send the link, share the customization so someone else can buy that. So it's very common. So maybe that's something that you can explore to see if it could be what you're looking for, to save that setting for later use, that setup for later use when you purchase again in the future.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Um, all right. And then the last question here is, can you show me how you published this?
How I publish this? So this example will be on Shopify, basically because that's our station store for today. Basically, what you do is you create a product. This is my backend of particularly Shopify. You basically create the product in Shopify first. You add a product, you set name and the description and the media, and you create the product, and then you look for that product in Customily. Now this is one of many ways of working with Customily. It's what we did today. What we did today is we search for a product that we had previously created in Customily. Just to go back one step, when you start the app, you start in this page, and you can publish new products, which means Customily will create a listing on your e-commerce based on information that you're going to provide. You can take an existing product and maybe connect to a print-on-demand provider. That's option number 3. But when you have your own product, let's say you have been selling for a long time and now you have the chance to personalize, so your products will turn into personalizable products. So you will add personalization to an existing product. So you're going to click here. You're going to craft your template. Yeah. You will pick the product. In this case, like I have this product in my store. And when I'm here, I get the chance to design my template or to choose the template if I designed this already, create the options, and then save. The moment I save this, it becomes linked. It becomes connected to Customily. That's how you publish. I mean, the product is already live. In just 1 second downtime, you connect that to Customily. So anyone getting there will load the template and the option set right there as we did, right? So if I were to refresh this, your product will look like this, and then it will quickly load Customily and allow you to personalize. If you want to disconnect this or unpublish this in Customily wise, all you have to do is, let me just look for the all you have to do is find the product you already have working with Customily and click here to remove the template, not delete, just remove. Remove this and just save this. It will turn green, and that's it. Your product is no longer connected to Customily. It's back to normal. Okay? Just as easy as that. You choose the template again. Yeah, this is the one. You go and you choose the option set again. Should probably be the last one in this case because it's the last one I created. save again. Your product is connected again to Customily. That's easy as that. I hope that was kind of what you meant
Yeah,
with publish.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that's the last question that we have for today.
Okay, great. Let's all right. Let's stop sharing. I think I'm stop sharing. Yeah. Okay, well, just in any case, that was our Q&A. We do that right there, sharing the screen. Of course, if more questions pop up, you are always welcome to open a direct line of communication with our support team by sending them an email, opening a live chat on business hours EST. That's where we have our teammates working on the live chat. That's really a great way of contacting us, and also join our communities, because we have a lot of people knowing Customily, sharing Customily, giving out tips, or when we also share news. Okay, so and new features like this one. Also, we advertise our live sessions, so keep that in mind and join our communities to be in touch with the latest regarding Customily. Well, that's all for today. I wanted to say thank you to Cecilia and Josefina on the chat. And also thank you, Joffrey, for co-hosting with me.
Thank you very much for having me over, Jose. It's always a pleasure to host for our users. And thank you everyone for coming by. Make sure you get in touch with our team if you need support and drop a review that will help us a lot.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you all for joining. We'll see you next time on our new next live session. Okay, goodbye.